This is typical of what I'm talking about. Cloudy. You only get a few days of sunshine. 1 or 2 days a month out here. So there's the tracker, and you can see it's covered with snow. There's these angled panels on a typical setup, covered with snow. The sun's not going to come out and melt them, maybe for days. And then up there's my rotating panels. Yep, it's moving. It's trying to find the sun. Anyway, so there's the rotating. That's what we were talking about, the possible solution for this, because the sun is so low, it just, it's just an inch or two above the horizon at the highest point there. You can see it. So you really need those vertical panels to catch the sun, but then the snow is the other obstacle. So this is my little solution. Seems to be, I mean, it's not entirely practical, right? But they're up out of the tree shade all year, and they're good for the winter. Right, and the other point is that when they're up there, you're not going to be able to go up and clear the snow off. So having them vertical is another answer. Because way back in behind those panels, there's two panels that are sitting in the more typical, almost flat, just angled, and they're covered with snow. But luckily the panels are fairly independent. They have that ability to go in series without losing all the power if one of them is covered a bit. Ooh, the sun came out, and that will only last for about 10 minutes. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 panels. They all rotate. That's the base. It's a steel roof, and there's basically one big I-beam running underneath, and then some structures. And these are these 300-pound actuators. They're super strong. They completely hold everything. And I just use these cheap Princess Auto. They're fairly heavy, but I mean, it would have been better to do it with like trailer wheels, trailer hubs, but I did it just to keep it budget. These things were $10-15 each. There's the sun. So it takes about 20 seconds for them to fully rotate over. Yeah, good. So here's a typical snowfall situation. So you can see this panel rotating and stuff's starting to come off, which is pretty good. And then you got the one, this is more like your typical setup. You can see it's been covered up, almost totally covered up. And then if I can just zoom in here. So there's my vertical panels, and you can see they're almost completely uncovered. So what I have here takes a bit of explaining. It's just a single axis tracker, and powered by battery. So this is the cable for the sensor and the 2 leads going to the actuators. Now with these actuators, they're kind of unique because they go positive and negative, and then they switch positive and negative. So at extension, this is negative, and at retraction, it's positive. So that creates a bit of an issue because a regular relay won't work. So you could try a dual relay, and that won't work either, but a 4 relay system will actually work. You can talk to AI about it. AI sent me on a goose chase. There is a board you can buy. I think it's called a DZX, and I tried it, and it didn't work well for me. So I went to the standard 12-volt relays, and of course they're protected. Then you have your power supply to the tracker. These are the two trigger A1 and A2 triggers for the relay, right? They send this signal. They're basically signal wires, and that's the power, and of course that's the sensor. And then, so the triggers have to go through to the relay, and then it switches to create the positive and the negative at high voltage. And the reason that you have to do all this is because I have 6 actuators up there, and the normal amperage that comes out of this is maybe 12 amps, and I need 3 amps times 6, so I need at least 18. So if I tried to run it off of this, I'd have to either have 2 controllers or this setup, right? Or less. If I only had 4 panels rotating, it would be fine. So that's what I had to do on the wiring. It's a mess. I know it's a mess, but nobody cares what anything looks like in here.